For Dwayne Wade's fourth signature shoe with the brand, Li-Ning traded their traditional leather upper for a more modern multi-layer mesh setup. Paying tribute to two cities that have played important roles in Wade's life, this USA City pack brings a colorful heathered upper to the sneaker. Let's take a look. Hey all, what is up? Reese here. I've got two brand new sneaker pickups to show you. What we're looking at today is the Li-Ning Way of Wade 4.0 in the USA City pack. This is a two-shoe pack that features an orange Chicago pair and a teal Miami pair. This pack first released on July 6th, 2016 with a retail price of $333, which means you were paying $166.50 for each shoe. Now, as we go through this video, I'd love for you to leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about Dwayne Wade's fourth signature shoe with Li-Ning, and specifically let me know which of these two colorways is your favorite. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and finally, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all of my latest videos. Now, this is one of two of these city packs released by Li-Ning with the Way of Wade 4.0. There was a China pack that featured a red Beijing shoe and a black Shanghai shoe, and just like these, they're all like color blocked exactly the same. They just trade out kind of the main accent color that's used, and that of course just pays tribute to the fact that Li-Ning is a Chinese company, and so it kind of pays tribute to that, while this USA City pack pays tribute to two cities that are very important to Dwayne Wade. Now, it's easy to sit here at this point and say, oh yeah, this makes sense because, you know, he played 13 seasons in Miami and now he's playing for the Chicago Bulls. However, what's interesting is that this pack was actually first announced before at least the public knew that Wade was going to Chicago. So when this was first announced, the significance of the two cities was, of course, Miami was where he had played at that point his entire professional career. And Chicago was important because that was actually his hometown. That's where he grew up. That's where he was born and raised. What's really interesting, though, is the first time we heard that he was going to the Bulls was actually the day that these released, which was, again, July 6th, 2016. So there are a couple interesting tie-ins. It's probably not something that impacted the creation of this pack, because it would have taken a little while to put this together, to come up with the designs and everything. But it still is interesting to think about, since Li-Ning would have probably been privy to that information before the general public would have. And regardless, I think it's a cool concept. The colors themselves are inspired actually by the NFL teams from those two cities. So for the Chicago pair, you have the orange from the orange and navy of the Chicago Bears. And for the Miami pair, you have the teal from the teal and orange of the Miami Dolphins. Now, I do have to admit that I cheated a little bit when I purchased this pack, and that's because I didn't technically buy the pack. I was actually able to buy each shoe individually on sale and save a ton of money. I grabbed these from Sunlight Station, which is an Australian retailer that's known as being a really good spot to grab Way of Wade products. They still have both the China and the USA City pack at their full retail price, which I think is listed right now at $328, which I'm assuming that's just because of the currency differences between the US dollar and Australian currency. But that still was a little more money than I was looking to pay for a pack that features basically identical shoes just with different colors. But recently they split out both the China and the USA packs, so you could buy just individual shoes, and they put them at a pretty heavily discounted price. You could buy an individual shoe from any of the packs for only $78, and so I was able to cart both of these. I used a discount code from Nightwing. The code is just Nightwing2303, and then shipping was like $13, and so I ended up paying $162 to get both of these, which is less than half the retail price of the pack, which means I paid less than technically what's the retail price for just one of these shoes to get both. Now, an important thing to note about doing that is the one thing you do not get in that deal is the box. There's actually a really cool double box that comes with this pack, but because I bought these separately, even though it was in the same order, I didn't get that box. That wasn't a big concern to me. You still get the dust bag, the extra laces, and all of that good stuff. But if that's something you're concerned about, that is just something to note. If you're interested, though, in maybe just one of the pairs, or just getting a great deal, or even combining, maybe you want the Miami pair and the Shanghai pair or something like that, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I'll put a link below so you can go take advantage of that deal as well. But with all that said, let's dive now into a close-up view where we'll go through the colors, materials, and everything going on with these two sneakers. We'll kick things off with a look at the dust bag that came with each shoe. You've got a black mesh, you've got the Way of Wade logo right there in blue, and then up at the top for the actual drawstring section, you basically got these blue shoelaces with the Way of Wade logo throughout. Additionally, Sunlight Station passed along these two bracelets. You got a teal one and an orange one to match each of the shoes. Getting into the shoes themselves, we'll do most of this review looking at the orange pair. It just happens to be my favorite because orange is my favorite color. But it's important to remember that everything is identical between these two. The color blocking, the materials, everything. You can basically just replace the orange with teal, and then everything else is the same. Now, the Way of Wade 4 was the first of Dwayne Wade's signature shoes with Li-Ning to not feature a leather upper. Instead, they used a multi-layer mesh setup. We saw a couple different forms of mesh. There was some really open mesh. There was some tighter knit mesh. We saw that on a lot of the graphic patterns. But then this one's even more tightly knit. Basically, you don't even see any of the mesh holes. What Li-Ning calls this is a technical heathered tri-blend sweat mesh. And what that translates to is basically a neoprene-like material. That's kind of what it feels like. It's kind of got some of those stretchy properties as well. And you can see that really interesting heathered look, which just gives the shoe some nice personality and helps to darken up that part of the upper, compared to some of the other parts of the shoe that are orange. Moving up now, we've got fuse overlays kind of all around the eyelets, wrapping around the collar. This is all 3M, so if you take a picture with the flash on, it'll be reflective. You've got D-Wade text down there right at the tip of the toe box. These do come with two sets of laces. I actually have the alternate laces in. I really like those. For this pair, it's just orange with the Way of Wade logo in white. They also come with just basic flat orange laces. Moving along the side here, you can see you've got these wings or kind of support straps. There's 3 on the lateral side, 2 on the medial, and those just help kind of get good lockdown as you're actually lacing up these shoes. For the tongue, you've got the same heathered mesh material all the way up. There's a fuse section at the top, and then you've got the Way of Wade logo in the center. Behind the tongue, you've got WOW 4 text right there. Orange mesh for the lining. For the insole, you've got the Way of Wade logo down there in white. And then what's really cool is each shoe features basically a print of a map of the city. So this pair has Chicago, the other pair has Miami. We'll take a quick look at those now. It's a really cool touch. Moving on then, finally, the last part of the upper is this Tpu Heel Cage in orange. You can see it kind of wraps up on the lateral side to provide some of that side-to-side support. You've got the Li-Ning logo right there, Way of Wade logo at the heel in white. For the cushioning setup, you basically got just a foam midsole within 2 different densities of foam as kind of the main cushion. You've got bounce cushioning up in the forefoot, which basically, like the name suggests, is a little more bouncy. It provides some of that energy return. While at the heel, you've just got cushion, is what they call it. And that, again, as the name suggests, is more impact protection right at the heel when you're kind of landing hard. Here at the inside of the toe, the outsole wraps up, and you can see it says Way of Wade right there, and then you've got the Li-Ning logo up at the tip. Looking at the outsole now, you've got an interesting triangular traction pattern that's fairly similar to herringbone. It just, again, looks a little different because of those triangles. You've got sections of orange and white. Right here under the ball of the foot, you've got the Way of Wade logo in orange and white. There is a carbon fiber shank plate right here, and unlike some of the past Way of Wade shoes that had a nearly full-length carbon fiber shank, what you see here is basically all you have. So it provides some torsional support, but doesn't quite limit the movement of the shoe like in past versions. You can also see a little bit of that right there. That about wraps it up for the look at the Chicago pair. We'll do a quick look at the Miami pair. Again, I did put the alternate laces on this pair as well. I just think they look a little bit better, but honestly, you can't go wrong either way. We'll see if that focuses up there. There we go. And again, you've just got that heathered look for that neoprene-like material. Hits of the teal throughout, and then a lot of hits of white. And that about does it for this review. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, let me know below which of these two pairs is your favorite from the pack. Definitely be sure, if you're interested, to check out one or more of these colorways on sale right now at Sunlight Station. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day.